Look out, y'all. It's your boy Ashy Knuckles. Want to do an analysis of Andre Dirrell's fight last night. For being out of the ring as long as he has, only having two fights in the last 4 years. You could tell the rust was there. Timing wasn't completely back. Reflex is still on point, but not as much as they would have been had he been fighting consistently. But he put in some work. He looked good while doing it, and as I said in a previous video about Andre Dirrell, you can tell he fights a more settled fight. He's settling down. He's not moving. You don't have to move so much in a fight. Even if you move, if you're going to move around a lot, keep your activity high. You know what I'm saying? You can't give off the impression that you're just unwilling to engage, because at the end of the day, it is the sport of boxing. It's not a track meet. And I thought he looked great. In his first fight back. He's back with Al Heyman, and so he will have more opportunities. And he makes himself a fresher face in the 168-pound division, a division which is not necessarily lacking talent, but we needed a new number one, top five type contender to emerge to challenge for some of these titles out here. Some of these title lists that they have in the division, whether it's Bika or Carl Froch, from dominating Butte, Andre Ward, who is the king of the division. And I think with a couple of fights under Andre Dirrell's belt, he will emerge as the guy who will win a world title. I bet that. And pose probably the stiffest test for any of these guys at this weight. And I think with the way that he's fighting now, when he's fighting a more settled fight, he's not necessarily just walking, just standing there in a standstill. I mean, there is lateral movement in his game. He's just not running from corner to corner to corner of the ring. It's not necessary. It's just to elude punches. You don't have to move way on the other side of the ring. You know what I'm saying? Make him miss, make him pay. And that's what he did in this fight. He picked his shots. He picked the openings. Biasi spent a lot of the night in a shell type defense. He felt Andre Dirrell's power early, and he was trying to protect himself so he don't get caught with flush shots for the entire night. He tried to mount an attack, and he was very unsuccessful. But he never stopped trying, Biasi did, and he took some punishment in this fight. And I thought, Dirrell did what he normally does. He walked him down at times. He led behind a jab. Some things I did notice, which can be catastrophic. He tried to catch Biasi one time with an uppercut coming in, and he threw a lot of great uppercuts in the fight. He hit him flush with some powerful shots. But this one time he leaned back and tried to catch Biasi with an uppercut as Biasi rushed him. And that's a very dangerous time to time a guy with an uppercut. Uppercut automatically, it's a good punch. And we all know what an uppercut can do. We've seen guys get knocked out with an uppercut, like Randall Bailey and Mike Jones. Mike Jones got knocked out by an uppercut, if I'm not mistaken. Randall Bailey's vaunted right hand. I mean, we already know that's his money shot. He's pound for pound one of the biggest right hands we've seen this era. Not saying that Randall Bailey was one of the best fighters of this era. He was pretty good. But that right hand, it's up there in terms of punching power amongst all the guys that that competed in this era around those weight classes. That money shot is his right hand. If you can get a read on the right hand, you can beat Randall Bailey. But we're not talking about Randall Bailey. We're talking about Dirrell and him trying to time Biasi with that uppercut. Uppercut is like I said, it's a good punch, but it's also a dangerous punch to throw. You can counter an uppercut from either side, either hand. And I've said this plenty of times before, back when I used to do the radio show, and you can ask any fighter this. You throw an uppercut when the opportunity doesn't present itself, you're going to understand why that you need to have perfect timing with that. That you need to throw an uppercut only when the opportunity presents itself. Because if you get countered from an uppercut, it's gonna hurt. I mean, you're gonna know why fundamentals are important and that straight shots get there much quicker than hooks or uppercuts. I've said that hundreds of times. Just fundamental fighting. If you look at Muhammad Ali, what type of shots did he throw? Predominantly straight punches, 1-2s all the time. And we already know he didn't go to the body at all, but predominantly 1-2s because they get there. You know what I'm saying? As far as timing, the straight shot's gonna always get there first. But other than that, I thought he picked the shots well. I think he utilized the ring when he needed to, but he never ran in the fight. He never moved out of punching range. He only moved shortly out of punching range when he needed to. But um, for the most part, he needed the rounds. He's rusty, and I would have liked to see him go more rounds. But this is the sport of boxing, and even though it is a full-time job, like you have to dedicate your 24 hours to boxing, you can't be, rapping and doing all this other stuff. You got to be a dedicated athlete in the sport. When it comes to the fight game, when it's fight night, when you punch in your time clock, there's no mandatory 8 hours for that shift. You punch in, and if you got to punch right out, it is what it is. If you can stamp a guy out of there fast, that's the benefit of boxing. Your check is still going to be the same once you, handle your business. So, the fight didn't go the distance. I think it ended at the end of round 5, if I'm not mistaken. Biasi was under heavy thunder for the most of the fight, and after the 4th round, he changed his game up a little bit. He tried to smother Andre Dirrell, pin him up against the ropes, use his natural strength against Dirrell. He was trying to, find his shots up in there. Dirrell waited, he was very patient in there. He didn't, get carried away or push the guy off him like some fighters do. They get so nervous when the fight becomes a game of inches. They start pushing or holding. Dirrell didn't do that. He settled in there. He was avoiding the shots that Biasi was trying to throw against him. And when he saw the opportunity, he created some space, got on his ass and stopped him right there, right after that little offensive attack by Biasi. And I thought it was beautiful. He's back. What can I say? And like I said before, boxing has a way of humbling you when it makes you realize, it makes you count your blessings when you have the networks and high profile guys in the sport that's trying to take you to the next level, not only for their benefit but for yours. And the boxing game has a way of weeding out the people that don't belong at the upper echelon. You know what I'm saying? If you don't perform, they have a way of locking you out. You know what I'm saying? And the people quick to call politics, but you can create your own path in the sport of boxing if you do what you're supposed to do. If you already lining up excuses when you're in a fight, you lose the fight. Oh, I had an off night, this, that, and the other. Look, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? And the paying public are not trying to hear those excuses. If you get the opportunity to fight on TV, do what you got to do so the networks will want you back. And as long as you got that mindset that there is no tomorrow, when you in that ring, you'll always be back. You'll always have opportunities. And I think Andre Dirrell understands this. I think he understands that even though he's one of the most talented fighters in the game, that talent alone is not going to keep him at the level that he wants to stay at. That he actually has to perform. He has to do what he has to do. He has to dedicate and respect the sport and do what he got to do in order to have these opportunities presented to him. And he's back with Al Heyman, and everybody's hating on Al Heyman. At the moment, Al Heyman has everybody, but eventually, the guys that he won't be able to get them the opportunities that they have because he has too many fighters, and only with one network willing to work with him, there's not enough TV dates for all these guys. So hopefully, Ken Hirschman will come around, and do business with Mayweather Promotions or Al Heyman, whoever, the promotional company those guys work out of, Golden Boy. Hopefully these guys will come around and start offering dates to someone else besides Top Rank, and hopefully Showtime will open the doors to Top Rank and other promoters, and get boxing back the way that it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not a monopoly going on out there, where other promoters can get their fighters opportunities, and at the same time bring back Don King. You know what I'm saying? You know, he ain't out of the sport. He has some fighters I like to see. I want to see more of Stavern. I want to see Amir Iman. You know what I'm saying? These guys are not dead. They still are active in the sport, and I want to see the fighters that they have. I want to see all of the talented fighters in the country fight each other on TV, and even main events. Stop freezing these guys out. You know what I'm saying? Let these guys have their opportunities as well. But anyway, Andre Dirrell is back, and this is what he had to say after the fight.
Alan Heyman, I do want to thank ESPN for putting me on the card, and everybody else who helped me through this long journey, man. It's been a lot. But my first target, honestly, in all honesty, in all truth, is Carl Froch. I want Carl Froch. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long it's going to take, but I told him on the phone a while back that I'm working. I told Al, I said, it's unrealistic, but if I get in there with Froch today, I would do the job. I would get the job done. Like I said, it's unrealistic. I want to earn my spot. I want to earn a shot at Froch. I want to earn a shot at Ward. I want to earn a shot at all the top names. So pull whoever you want to in front of me leading up to that, and I'll get the job done. And when I get up there, my passion is going to move me. My dedication is going to move me. My drive is going to move me. And nothing's going to get in my way. I'm a Mack truck rolling down 75 by way of Flint, Michigan, and I'm crushing anybody who step in front of them lights. There you have.
Make sure it ain't lip service, Dirrell. I mean, everybody knew about the talent this guy possessed coming out of the Olympics. He did lose to Triple G in the Olympics. I saw the fight. It ain't like Triple G just beat the hell out of him. You know what I'm saying? In fact, there really wasn't much of a difference in terms of what either guy did in the ring. Triple G just happened to win the fight. I thought Dirrell fought very well against Triple G. He just didn't win, according to the scoring system. And I love to see, when Dirrell gets back in the thick of things, I love to see the rematch at the professional level. I think that would be a very good fight. Everybody's think Triple G can beat anybody in the world, and he nasty. Like I said before, I like Triple G. You see the fights. He's just running right through guys. You know what I'm saying? But when you go up 8 pounds of fight weight, will all those virtues and attributes come with you? Will they have the same effect at the new weight that they had at 160? That remains to be seen. So if he does go up in weight, whenever he does go up in weight, a Triple G versus Dirrell match would be great. Like I said before, Andre Dirrell, everybody knew about the talent coming out of the Olympics. That's why they call him the Matrix. They don't call him the Matrix for nothing. But I think now he's at the point where he's going to show us, Neo. in terms of the Matrix, he's going to show everybody Neo, the supernatural gifts that he has, instead of just Mr. Anderson, before he took the blue or red pill or whatever, if you ever saw the Matrix movie. So, yeah, that about wraps it up, man. I would love to see Andre Dirrell continue on the path. I think we will see Andre Dirrell, and as you just heard, his passion is moving him, and he's ready for the next opponent, and so am I. So if you happen to miss the fight, I'll put a link in the description box below. You can check him out and tell me what you thought. Till next time, Ash, deuce.